Hello, dear children. This is the third part of geography chapter land, soil, water, natural vegetation, and wildlife resources. In this third part of video, we will be discussing about water as a resource. Students, you already know that water is very important for our life. We have to do so many work through the water. Children, you may also know that about three-fourths of the earth is water. But of the three-fourths of the water, two-thirds water which is available is line. So we have a very less percentage of fresh water that is present. Of the total fresh water, which is considered only 2.7%, 70% is blocked in the form of ice and glaciers, and only 1% of this water is called as fresh water, which is basically available for human use. So, Earth is also called as water planet. So, children, whenever we talk of water cycle and conservation of water, it is very important to understand that the water which is fit for consumption or for human use is very less in proportion to the actual amount of water that is available on the earth. Water is available on the surface in the form of rivers, oceans, and lakes. The main source of water on the earth is rain. Do you know how the rain occurs? It is a part of the natural process called the water cycle. As evaporation takes place when the sun heats up water in the water bodies and turns it into vapors or steam. When water vapor reaches in the air, they get cold. It changes back into liquid, forming clouds. This process is called as condensation. When a lot of water is condensed, the clouds become heavy and it rains. Water is also a renewable resource. Now, in the next part of this video, we will be studying about the uses of water. We use water for so many purposes like drinking, washing, agriculture, what is also used in industries, and it is also being used for generating electricity. Now, the question arises, apart from this uses, we are having so many challenges. For example, we have rising demand of water. Why the demand is rising? Because with the increasing population, we have an increase in the demand of water also. As you can say, there's a demand for water in urban areas more in comparison to the demand of water in rural areas. We also require water for agriculture in order to cater to the needs of the growing population. Now, other problems of water availability. As we already know, there are numerous nations where you have acute shortage of water. Children, you won't believe there's a town in Gujarat named as Amreli and a village close to it where they have to buy water even for their daily use. So, there is scarcity of water in many of the regions of the world like Africa, West Asia, South Asia, Northwest Mexico, Australia, etc. are facing shortage in fresh water supply. The shortage varies with seasons and the annual rainfall. Or we can say, during the month of rainy season, there won't be that much shortage in comparison to the months having no rain. The annual precipitation might vary, specifically for country like India, which is highly dependent on monsoon. So, if the monsoon is good, you would have more precipitation and vice versa. Again, overexploitation or overuse of water, wastage of water could lead to scarcity. And most important nowadays is contamination of water sources. That is, as you all know, we have only 1% of the water which is available for human use, is being severely contaminated over the time. Now, in the last slide, we will be studying about the conservation of water resources. Children, you just dealt with the problems which we are facing with regard to the water. But now we will be studying what could be done to conserve the water. First is afforestation, that is, planting more trees that would help binding soil more, and that would also lead to ecological setup and more rainfall. Second is very important method, that is rainwater harvesting. This method could be applied in dry regions. So, what is done under this method? There are flat top roofs, so once you have the rainy season, the water could be accumulated on the roofs and this water could go to the tank attached to it. This water is used in the month which are dry. Third one, the canals should be properly lined, or in other words, there should be no leakage in order to minimize the wastage of water. Fourth one is the sprinkler technique. Sprinklers also decreases the amount of water that is being used. The last technique is drip irrigation. Now children, how it works? Rather than providing the ample amount of water to the crop, you continuously provide water by drip. So you have in this technique you have some kind of channels or pipelines that work on, or you have a continuous drip irrigation. This system or this technique has been very successful in desert areas. The classic example of this technique is of Israel, which has converted its arid regions into agriculture regions. Thank you, students. This was all for the video. In case of any doubts, you can ask your doubts in the online sessions. Thank you.